demons could fuck?
What the hell are you talking about?
Stop, wait, don't go. Don't go, wait. Think about this. What if demons could? And what if they're two women who magically could? Not magically, but they can. And that was my thought process. I was also thinking, how am I going to introduce new colors into my demon lore that I absolutely have? And that is way too complicated, and it feels like Once Upon a Time all over again, where it's so much more complicated than it had to be. That's why you guys came here to watch my video. Anyways, hi, if you're new here, my name is Selena. And I'm here to entertain you. I don't just draw, I play video games, and I review things, and I'm just a cool girl all around. I'm just your local cool girl. But yeah, please like, subscribe, hit that notification button so you're notified whenever I post new videos. So, if you can't tell by my beautiful luscious face, I said, F the PNG tuber, you're getting my face whether you like it or not.
Oh, okay. Yeah, oh, okay.
So you're probably wondering, who is dating who is kissing who? Let me get my diagram out. Okay, and on the first part of this video is figuring out who the parents are, how did I get inspired, etc. What colors did I do in the end? So you're probably wondering who yellow and green. Yellow and green are in this magnanimous, is that a word? Don't ask, don't answer. Magnanimous relationship. They are a kind of weird couple in the end. My thought process on this is that they are very loving to each other, but with their kids, they're very much more stricter compared to the other parents involved in this drawing series. With Green being kind of like this nonchalant parent. Okay, she's not a deadbeat. Let's get that clear. But she's not there all the time. You know, she bonds with her children when they're older, but when they're young and in their teens, she's kind of just like, no. But Yellow, on the other hand, has always wanted kids, and it was very excited to have kids, but she is on more of the sterner side of the more stricter parent, scared her kids are gonna get hurt, just like she did. I mean, these two parents have very toxic and very body-changing powers, which all these kids get a mix of each of their powers and each of their genetics. And I created some interesting, I hope. Okay, the drawing of child number 1, the oldest. And the first oldest is Lemon Lime, who I thought was going to be the most combined of each of the parent. Her name is Lennon, aka Lemon Lime, as her. I say she isn't all that bright. She is kind of the silly goose of the family, I guess, but has the most fun out of all of them. She wants to kind of leave the family cocoon or nest eventually. Kind of follow her heart wherever she goes, whatever demons do. I don't know, babes. That's too much lore to think about. Probably wondering, okay, what is her power? Yellow has her power of being toxic, as well as Green has their power of slime. So I thought it would be kind of cool. Blight Blossom, which they grow toxic flowers that poison and weakens foes. While not super green heavy, it's very much like yellow, but make it flower. Honestly, my favorite thing about this whole drawing was the hair. I was kind of like impressed with myself on how much I've improved with like drawing hair, and I was just kind of like stunned. She's probably one of my favorite out of the series, and of course I wanted to show off more of her power, and so she has, you know, these toxic flowers that she can easily take off her body. If you ever seen the movie Elektra, which wild stuff if you have, congrats, you're only the one of 15 people who asked. Me as a kid, obsessed. And you know how that lady, or was it the guy, I can't remember, whoever had like the tattoos that would come off of him? It was kind of like that idea. But yeah, that is the first child that they also, the hardest part was remembering to press record. Anyways, that is the first kid that will be introduced. And now we're moving on to the middle child, which was the color chartreuse. And did I get inspired by Coraline? Just a little bit. Callie, aka Chartreuse, is the middle child of everybody. Of course, being the middle child, they're bright, they're pretty bright, she's pretty smart, and super energetic. Her power is acid generation. Produces corrosive acid for offense or defense, which I thought was cool because it's not giving you a defense or like, I don't know what to do with that. To be honest with you, I feel like I could have expanded more on the power on her body somewhere. I gave her gloveless, like, gloves. Of course, I covered, like, the important part to show, but it's like somewhere, it's kind of like Spider-Man in a way, but not like Spider-Man. Try with every character I design to have some sort of different proportions. Granted, I'm still not even that good at drawing legs, so you guys are lucky. You're even seeing a full body right now, okay? As well as you will notice, their actual color, you know, chartreuse and lemon lime, it's their skin color, and the rest is like a bit different. I thought that would also be a nice contrast to the outfits. A lot of things, I do wish I changed the face up a little bit. I'm still working on face structure and everything. Again, for the baby, the youngster of the siblings of green and yellow, is I did strong olive or olive. Fortunately, not as energetic as her sisters, which is honestly kind of sad, but she is very much like her mother in terms of personality. Green herself and more in the corner, you know, she'll help her sisters out and stuff, and she's very more talkative than a lot of people in her life, but she's definitely more of like introverted compared to her sisters. Also, her actual name is Oana. I thought that was a pretty name. And her power is liquefaction. Melts into liquid form, flowing through small gaps. Rather than just slime, I think it'd be cool to, like, she can turn into whatever liquid she got. I actually really, like, as I look at this more, she's kind of grown on me. I didn't like her at first, and maybe it's the face and the hair. But honestly, she looks so chill. Green color, she looks a lot like if I just gave her like some underbite, she's basically a demon ogre. I felt like I should have done a little bit more to like differentiate herself from that kind of characteristic, but in the end I still like her, and I still think she is a fun character that I will hopefully over time use her more because she is fun and introverted, and I'm a fun introverted gal. Alright. Next up is the next couple, and they have two beautiful children. So the first one is Blue, Violet. That's right, Blue and Violet had some kids, and I thought that was like see, because like, you know, Blue's this quiet girl who talks occasionally, but Violet, she really doesn't see, like, she's not 100% blind, but she is blind. You know, these kids are a little bit more confident in themselves. I'm not saying that green and yellow's kids aren't confident. They're confident in other ways. But blue and violet's kids, I know I said purple, violet, whatever you want to say. Everybody has been waiting for me to do this color. Totally 100%. I totally didn't make a skit about this. That's indigo. At first, it was dark indigo, but I thought, that's weird. Just call it indigo, babes. And so that's what I did. And this time, they made the beautiful child indigo. And I was like, hell yeah. I finally got to add indigo in somehow. Because originally, I didn't know how else to add indigo. Indigo, aka Iona, is mute. So I added a kind of uniqueness to each of the kids, obviously, if you can't tell. But with these two kids, they each have a uniqueness about them as well as their powers. So Iona is mute, but she's very sweet, very kind. She's a little shy at first, but once you get to know her, she kind of like becomes this like interesting girl that loves her sister, her parents. You know, I explained green and yellow's parent dynamic. Blue and purple's like dynamic is is very healthy, probably the healthiest out of all of them. Like, if they're gonna bring people, their children into this like crazy world, they want to make sure they do right by them. And with each kid, they got a little more unconfident in their ability as parents. That is why they only have 2 kids. They didn't want to give their kids more hardships than they were already going to deal with in this world that they're living in. Wow, I'm fucking deep. Let me just has this like really intricate like bun situation that I did. So I wanted to try to incorporate that, as well as like give myself another redemption at ball hair. I don't know why I want to do ball hair so well, but I'm like, I gotta do it well. I gotta do it for Ayaan. Her power is subconscious manipulation, which is enter and reshape another subconscious's mind, which I thought that was super cool. It's definitely more on the Violet side. Love the way Indigo's eyes look. They are bright. The only thing is the skin. I don't know why me and Purple despise each other when it comes to drawing it. And maybe I just haven't got rendering down and like color theory correctly down, but I was so excited, and then I like colored it and rendered it, and I was like, damn. I feel like something is missing, and I don't know what, and maybe somebody in the comments will tell me. Obviously, her shirt and pants are not the same color as her gloves. But besides the point, I also love the way I drew her boots. The boots are my favorite thing. But also the hair. I'm pretty proud of myself, actually. I looked at too many references, I'm gonna tell you, to make sure this bun hair looked real good and really nice. I wanted these 2 characters, if they were gonna just be 2 of them based off these like cool other characters, I wanted to make sure they had the right amount of both in them. And I definitely like the little beads of it, blue and purple as well. Like, I try to incorporate as much as I could. And then the next kid, of course, it's Miss Layla, sorry, aka Lilac. You know, like that jellyfish haircut? That's what Violet has. I have not done it well, but hey, it's a different hairstyle. She always wears goggles or glasses because, like her mother Violet, unfortunately, she's blind. She can't see. Her power is the siren song, which they sing hypnotic notes that lure, calm, or control minds. You know, people might say, why did you just choose one? Well, what's the fun in that? Choose all of them. I've been seeing some TikToks of like using your sketch as your final piece basically, and kind of just cleaning up your sketch as your final line art. And now I occasionally do that. I don't like doing it all the time because sometimes my sketches that day just look too bad, and I just love the crispy pen so much. Sometimes it just brings that crispiness. But with me doing the wolf cut haircut, I knew I had to bring in some pencil aspect to kind of show off the wolf cut, which I did here. Do the hair. Yes. Okay, so what I did to get the hair at first, and I hope I got it. I probably didn't. But as I put it on the sketch, I put a other layer on it. I grabbed like a purplish violet color. I put a hard light on it, okay? And it looked so cool. And now I have a new twig. Will I remember it? Who freaking knows? That she doesn't have glasses. I might have forgotten that she wore glasses. No, I didn't. I wish the outfit was a bit more cleaner, but that's just on me. It looks generally very nice and gentle and calm. Like, out of like a lot of demons. I also think her skin color is a little muted. What is up with me and Purple's? And that is Blue and Violet, aka Purple's children together. And now we're here at the last couple. You probably can't guess who it is. Red, Orange. The 2 most like out there characters, very confident in their bodies, very confident in themselves. At first, I had 4. I had it all planned out. And then as I overlooked it, I saw how like some of the colors looked a little similar on my end, but as well as just like I wasn't having fun with drawing just 4 characters for these 2 characters. As much as I love these characters, and as much as I want to draw as many characters related to them, I also wanted to make sure I didn't like give myself too much to do as I've done in the past, and I wanted to make sure I would still love this series and still genuinely love each character, as sometimes I feel like when I do series, I do too many characters that I personally can do in order for me not to get an art block, or me to not like genuinely like them enough for me to continue drawing it. The first kid I drew was Vermilion. But anyways, this is Vera, aka Vermilion. She is definitely a lot more like her mother, Orange. She has her head shaved, and I thought it'd be cool character design, and I don't have many characters like this, and she will have a mohawk. Now, this was probably the hardest thing to do, to actually show, and I could have probably just done a different pose for her to show off the mohawk more, but that's neither here nor there. She's done and finished. But she's definitely that more like spunk kind of girly, where she has a bunch of confidence in herself. I think she's one of the older. You're probably wondering what her power is, and it's fire mimicry, which at first I had no idea what that was, and it's becoming a living flame. Her costume design, I think, is like probably one of my favorites. I'm just kind of big brain like that. I didn't know exactly what to do with her, honestly, when I first looked at her and like, what the heck am I gonna do with you, girly? Well, I do wish I changed the gloves a little bit. I feel like those gloves really don't match the outfit, and I probably could have just done without gloves, but here we are. Her whole bodysuit of her being like a flame of some sorts, I thought was very, very cool. I am not the greatest at drawing scars. I thought her scars would look cool if they kind of look like flames inside, like. Last, but certainly not least, I did the color Coral, aka Chloe. I know it's very basic, and she's just kind of that girly pop. She is the girly pop. A bunch of trouble. Always teaches her hair. She tries to cut it herself. Now, I wish I showed that more, or I wish I looked at that before doing her hair. But here we are. And I definitely should have showed off the scar more, and this is where I kind of showed off my makeup skills a little bit more, that I try to push myself a little bit more. While she seems a little like whatever, that's just kind of her. I kind of had like this different idea of how to do their power. Also, again, the beautiful ombre of her and stuff like that. I do really like all these characters. It's just like little things I'd probably change in the future if I redraw them, or draw them in different ways, or draw them for different like challenges and stuff for myself. But her power I thought was super cool. So I thought it would be cool is she can burn your blood just like that. She can mess with your cells, burn someone inside out. It's kind of crazy now that I say it out loud, and kind of wild. Sorry, it's so graphic. I didn't think it would be that graphic, but now that I say it out loud, it is kind of. But yeah, that is their two beautiful children. They probably will have more. It's why I wanted to do them with 4 kids, because out of everybody, them two together are the most like, they're very like, they're those parents where it's like they're more than just your parents, they're your friends or whatever. So they're very chillax. They don't really like parent, you know, they're more on the toxic side of that kind of parenting style rather than a good healthy middle. And well, that's it. I drew in total 7 characters in the 9 characters I was supposed to draw, but I got rid of 2. And I am kind of glad I did it, because this series did take me super long. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope this is very interesting for you. Please give me ideas of what other things you want to see me draw, any challenges you want to see me do. Please let me know in the comments down below. I plan on doing one of those like random wheel stuff again, because that was kind of fun. Yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I do miss you guys. Please like, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you're notified whenever I post new videos. And I will see you all in the next video. Bye!